Hi guys, happy Monday. I have some very sad news. I injured myself about 2.5 weeks ago. I worked out. We did legs and we did deadlifts and a couple other exercises that put a lot of strain on your lower back and your glutes, your hips, and your hamstrings. Now, obviously, I'm a professional. I work out for a living. So even though my form was correct and I was doing everything right, I still pinched a nerve in my lower back. And even though I stretch every single day, I also take a lot of supplements that help with muscle performance, relaxation, and growth and recovery. But because I am constantly lifting things, my lifestyle is extremely active because of my job. And then I also push myself very hard when I'm at the gym because I'm not usually able to get to the gym more than 3 or maybe 4 times a week. So, needless to say, I did not take the rest or get massages like I should. And now, massages are really important because if you're like me and you stretch on a regular basis, you're pretty flexible and your body's pretty used to that. I wanted to do a video on this because, and I'm sorry this is going to be kind of long, because it's been very, very hard emotionally on me. And in this video, you're actually going to see me crying. That's why I'm not wearing makeup right now. I'm in a lot of pain. Just sitting here, it hurts really, really bad. I think what happened was I pinched my sciatic nerve. And because I did that, all of the muscles around my sacrum and my lower back and into my hip joint became very tight. And because they're very tight, they're pinching on a lot of other nerves. So when you have this kind of injury, it's very important that you roll out, you get massages, you get chiropractic adjustments, and you also stretch. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I've been doing to help with my lower back and hip pain right now. So first I want to tell you a little bit of what was going on with my back. First of all of these muscles that run alongside your spine were very tight from one of my back exercises. Now I'm pointing at my hip joint here. It's really important that when you do injure your lower back that you are really pushing alongside your hip joint and right along where your hip connects to your back to really loosen those muscles. Then I want to also show you, this is where my sacrum is. It's kind of a triangular bone, and there's tons of ligaments and muscles that connect your sacrum to your glutes and your hips. So rubbing in all around there is what I have been doing. I also was experiencing a lot of pain at the head of my femur, which is kind of up into the glutes as I'm showing you here. So sitting on the tennis ball on top of that joint is extremely painful, but those ligaments are the ones that connect your leg to your hips. Now I'm going to show you some of the stretches that you want to do in order to prevent from this kind of pain from occurring. First is child's pose. I like to have my knees together and stretched forward, but again, I'm a little more flexible than the average person, so if you need to open your legs up a little bit wider for this position, you can go for it. But the goal is to get your hips all the way onto your heels, so make sure those toes are uncurled. Next, I recommend stretching side to side in this position. So walking your hands to one corner and trying to drop that shoulder down. So I'm walking over to the right side, therefore I'm trying to drop my left shoulder down to the ground. You want to hold this position for at least 30 seconds, if not longer, and then you want to switch sides. Next, it's really important that you are stretching your quads. This is the best way for me to stretch my quads because, again, I am very flexible, but sometimes this can put a lot of pressure on the lower back. So you can also lay flat on your belly and grab one heel into your glute. When I tend to do that, I usually have to flex my glute in order to get my leg up higher so I can get a deeper stretch. That's why I prefer doing it the other way where I have both my legs on the ground and I walk backwards. But either or, you want to just get a nice 30-second stretch each leg, or I would do a solid minute if you're doing both legs like I showed in the first stretch. The next stretch is a lying hip stretch. So you're going to have one leg over the opposite knee, and you want to try to keep your shoulders on the ground, hug that opposite thigh into your chest, and keep that knee out to the side. So right here, I'm stretching my right hip. So I have my right ankle over my left knee. I'm hugging my left thigh into my chest, and I'm keeping my right knee out to the side. You want to hold this for about a minute and then switch legs. To get an even deeper stretch, you can bring that whole position all the way to the side so that foot that was on the knee is flat on the ground. And then you want to push that opposite knee out. I recommend looking over that side's shoulder just to get an even, a little bit more of a stretch in that lower back. Because all of your muscles from your sacrum attach to your lower back, it's important that you're stretching that back as well. So bring one knee into the chest and bring it all the way across your body until it's touching the ground. Extend that same side's arm and look over your shoulder. So I have my left knee crossing over my body and my left arm is stretched out and I'm looking over that left chest, or that left shoulder, excuse me. You want to do the same to the other side and you want to hold for about a minute each. Hamstrings are another one you really want to stretch because those ligaments connect your femur to your hips. That's where I'm feeling a lot of pain right now as well. So it's important that you are stretching your hamstrings. One way to do it is the straight leg pike, keeping your knees straight, pushing that chest forward. After holding that for about a minute, I recommend take your right hand and reach for your left foot and bring your left hand across your body. You're going to now feel a little deeper stretch in that limb, but you're also going to get a stretch in your IT band, which is the side of your leg. After 30 seconds to a minute, you want to switch sides and do the same amount of time on the other side. Another one of the stretches that are going to be really good is very similar to the lying hip stretch, but you're just sitting upright. I feel like this stretches my back more versus lying on my back. But you're going to have one foot in front of the other and you're going to reach forward. So if you have your right foot in front like I do here, you're going to reach forward and then after about 30 seconds you're going to walk to the upper left corner trying to touch that right shoulder to the ground. That's going to get an even deeper stretch in that right hip. After about 30 seconds forward, 30 seconds to the side, you're going to go back to the side or to the front and hold another 30 seconds. Just like I'm doing here, and then you're going to switch legs and do the same on the other side, but when the left leg is in front, you're going to reach to the upper right corner. So next I want to show you some very, very painful pressure points that you want to do with a tennis ball. So I have the ball right against my spine on my dorsal muscles. They run all the way down your spine to your hips. So I just kind of lay on top of it. It's hard to tell in this video, but I kind of wiggle around until I can find right where all the pain is, and then I press my entire body weight into that tennis ball. I'd recommend using a lacrosse ball, or you can even do a softball, but I don't have any of those on hand, so I'm just using a tennis ball. But then when you are done getting all of the back muscles, you want to move it down to your hip and kind of run it alongside your hip joint. Then when you're trying to get into that where the head of the femur is and into the piriformis, you want to put one leg on top of the knee and then roll the ball around very slow. You can see it's extremely painful. And until you find those pressure points, and then hold. I usually do about 4 deep breaths, and then I kind of slightly roll the ball around until I find another pressure point. Next, you want to kind of tilt your hips just so you can really get the ball deep inside that joint. It's going to be really painful, but it's really important that you get those deep-rooted muscles and tendons that are in your hip, because those are the ones that pull in your spine. Next, I straighten my leg and I'm putting the ball right at the head of my femur, trying to get where my hamstring connects to my glute and really stretch that out as well. They're very small movements, but you want to slightly move your body around so that you can get where it hurts. So I also want to touch on the emotional side of getting injured, because it can really tear you down. And I'm being very open and vulnerable with you guys because a lot of people go through this. They get injured and they get really depressed because you can't move, you can't do anything that makes you happy. And I just want to tell you guys that it's not forever, all right? And I'm kind of doing this video for myself too, because I'm feeling really hopeless. It's really hard on me to be injured, because my whole life is being active, and I'm doing everything I can. I'm still eating a lot of protein. I'm not eating as much carbs or fat so I can maintain how I look, but I know I'm still going to lose a lot because I'm not strengthening my muscles. I'm feeling just like exhausted. And a lot of people end up feeling this way, and then it sets them back several months in their fitness journey. What I want to remind you is, first of all, to take care of yourself. Listen to your body, do your stretches, take the right supplements, get massages, get chiropractic adjustments so that you don't fall behind. But if you do and you get injured, which happens, try not to lose hope, because it's just temporary. You got to put in the work. Just like your fitness journey, you have to put in the work. You have to fight for what you want. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep fighting. Same goes for when you're injured. You have to keep fighting. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep taking care of yourself, and don't just give up, because when you give up, that's when you lose everything, and it's so much harder to get back to where you were, because when you sit by yourself and you're in a lot of pain, it really messes with your mind. And as I preach, fitness and health starts in your mind. So I hope you don't mind me being vulnerable with you guys and being really real. I know I didn't do a Motivational Monday last week, and I am very sorry. I've been really busy trying to get caught up from my trip to Idaho. But, life has a different plan for you, and you just have to stop and recognize the fact that, stuff happens, and it's all about how you get through it. So I hope this gives you some motivation to really work hard this week, because I'm not going to be able to. I'll be working hard in other ways. And I hope you guys have a great week. If you have any questions on injuries or how to cure them, or what kinds of exercises and stretches you should be doing, please feel free to call or message me. I'd be happy to help. Obviously, I know what you're going through. But I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you next Monday. Take care.